Okay, so the good news is in. Sita's been found. And just like that, there's this incredible surge of hope through the entire Vanara army. But here's the thing. Hope alone doesn't get you across an ocean, right? This is that pivotal moment, the one where a rescue mission transforms, just ignites, into a full-scale war. And we're going to break down that very first battle plan, right from the get-go.
And boom, there you have it. In one single sentence, Rama lays out the entire campaign. It's so clear, right? He sets the goal, Lanka, and then he names the biggest, baddest obstacle in their way, the ocean. And you've got to understand, this isn't just some big lake. We're talking about a massive strategic barrier, the very thing that's made Ravana's kingdom basically untouchable for, well, for ages. So let's talk about this, the uncrossable ocean. Now that they have the target locked in, the mission's first and, let's be honest, most terrifying obstacle just snaps right into focus. They know where they're headed, no question about that. But figuring out how in the world they're going to get there, man, that is a monumental puzzle.
And just so we're all on the same page here, it's so important to get this. Lanka isn't just some tropical island getaway. It's a full-on fortress. Ravana, he's a smart guy in his own way. He's used that ocean as his #1 defense. It's basically a giant natural moat that makes any kind of normal, conventional attack seem, well, completely impossible.
And that really lays the challenge bare, doesn't it? It's the question on everyone's mind. I mean, think about it. The Vanara army, they're masters of the forest, masters of the mountains, not the sea. They don't have a navy, they don't have ships. So the core problem, the big strategic question is this. How does an army of land dwellers project its power across an entire ocean? All right, so to solve this impossible problem, what does Rama do? He assembles his A-team, his greatest assets. And we're not just talking about some standard military briefing here. No. This is a council of war. It's a meeting of the most powerful minds, the wisest souls, and the strongest hearts in the entire Vanara alliance. First up, you've got Sugriva, the king. And you can just feel the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He gets it. He knows Lanka is a fortress, and he knows that if this assault fails, it means the end for so many of his people. So he's not just thinking like a strategist, he's thinking like a cautious commander, weighing the cost of every single move. Then you have Jambawan, the ancient bear whose wisdom literally spans ages. He's the voice of experience, the one who grounds the whole conversation in what's physically possible, and maybe even more importantly, what's spiritually possible. He's seen it all. He understands the limits of what mortals can do, and he knows when you might need to look for a little divine intervention.
And of course, you can't forget Hanuman. He's fresh off his unbelievable solo trip to Lanka. He is the living, breathing proof that impossible is just a word. His confidence, it's just infectious, you know? He's reminding everybody in that room that their cause is just, their purpose is strong, and they can do this.
So you can see how all these different perspectives start to clash and then combine. You've got Sugriva, the cautious king, saying, whoa, hold on, we need a meticulous plan. Then you've got Hanuman just radiating this confidence, basically saying, hey, our purpose itself is our greatest strength. And then there's Jambavan, the ultimate pragmatist, who just lays out the options. Okay, we can try to build a bridge, we could try to find boats, or we could look for some divine help. It's that mix of caution, confidence, and practicality that's going to forge the real strategy.
So while his council is debating the how, going back and forth on all these details, Rama steps in. And this is what great leadership looks like. He just cuts right through all the complexity with one simple, immediate, actionable command. He's like, look, we can't solve this from here. First things first, we march to the ocean's shore.
And that's it, the first command. Once Rama gives the order, the debate is over. It's time for action. You can almost feel the entire Vanara nation just lurch into motion. And now, the huge responsibility falls on King Sugriva's shoulders to take that one single command and turn it into a massive, full-scale military mobilization.
And does Sugriva hesitate? Not for a second. His orders are crystal clear, they're concise, and they are immediate. This isn't some polite suggestion. This is a call to arms for every single Vanara. Gather supplies, arm yourselves with whatever the forest provides, and be ready to move as one at sunrise.
And the response from the army? It's electric. Absolutely electric. There's no hesitation, there's no fear, there's just joy. You have to understand, the Vanaras had been waiting for this moment.
They finally have a direction, a purpose. The entire forest just comes alive with the sound of an army getting ready for the greatest march of their lives. But let's pause for a second. Beyond all the logistics, the supplies, the strategy, what's really driving this war? What's at the heart of it all? It's so important to understand this because it's the motivation, the emotional core that's going to sustain them when things get really, really tough.
And this little exchange between the two brothers, Rama and Lakshmana, it just gets right to the heart of it. Lakshmana, he sees the cosmic scale of this. He's like, brother, this war, this is going to shake the earth. He sees the bigger picture. But Rama's focus? It's laser sharp. It's deeply personal. For him, this entire massive undertaking begins and ends with one person, Sita. But then Rama adds this other crucial layer. He says this isn't just a personal quest for Sita. It's for Dharma. And if you're not familiar, think of Dharma as, well, the right way, the fundamental law of the universe, cosmic balance. Ravana's actions have thrown that balance completely out of whack. So this war, it's not just a rescue mission anymore. It's an act of restoring order to the entire cosmos.
And you know, this shows that Rama gets something really fundamental about what they're facing. This war isn't going to be won by maps and tactics alone. So he turns to Hanuman, the very embodiment of courage and devotion, and makes it clear. He says, your courage will light our path. He knows it's going to be Hanuman's fearless heart that will be the army's guiding light, especially when the plans fail and the path gets really, really dark. And so, there we are. The plan is set, the troops are mobilized, and their purpose is crystal clear in their hearts. The moment has finally arrived. All the preparations are done. The greatest war in the history of this epic is literally about to begin. I mean, just try to imagine that scene for a second. Millions of Vanaras, all united under one banner, their spirits just soaring with this righteous purpose. They're not just an army anymore. They're a force of nature, ready to pour out of the forests and mountains and begin that long march south, marching toward the sea, marching toward their destiny. And that brings us to the final question, the one that just hangs in the air. They have the numbers, they have the will, they absolutely have the courage. But what they're facing is an impassable sea and a fortress that's never been breached. So we're left to wonder, right along with them, can courage alone really build a bridge to victory? Can sheer determination and righteousness truly conquer the impossible?